guys, this is Wendy from Perfectly Gorgeous Papercraft. Today I would like to share with you a new stamp set from Stampin' Up called In This World. It's to me it's a little bit vintage. I love all the different stamps in there, and the card that we're going to create today is this one. Absolutely gorgeous. It says, "You're the kind of person who makes a positive difference in this world." Of course, I have done the envelope to match, and I have stamped on the inside of the card as well. Alright, let's get started. Just going to pop those to one side. So all you're going to do, I've got soft suede for my card base. So you're just going to fold that one in half, and with your paper insert you can just fold that in half as well. Okay, the first thing we might do, if you get your soft sky piece, and what we need to do is just tear across the top and down the side. Now, remembering you don't want it to look neat, so purposely make it look messy. With your crumb cake piece, the measurements will be up on the screen. So once you have done that, you just want to pop it onto your crumb cake piece just to see if you need to take some more off of that. And I'm going to take a little bit more off the top, and if you also bring in your DSP, you can tear some of that on the top. Now we're going to put that piece up on the right hand side of the crumb cake piece, and I'm happy with how that fits. So you just want to obviously have a little gap down the side, across the bottom, and a little bit more of a gap on the top. Your soft sky piece, you want that to line up with your DSP, and you can see here that there's still some of the DSP showing on the top there. Now once you're happy with that, you can have a fiddle around with it. You can just take a little bit more off if you wish. Just do a little bit at a time, because obviously you can't add it back on if you've torn it and it's way too much. So they're the things that you need to do first off to start with this card. And then with your soft sky piece, once you've done that, we can start stamping. So I'm going to stamp using Early Espresso to start with. And with the gorgeous butterfly that's in the stamp set, you're just going to come up and stamp that into the corner like that. And whilst we have that out, if you grab your insert, we can put one of them onto the inside of the insert, and also grab your envelope, and in the top left hand corner I'm going to stamp one of those gorgeous butterflies as well. Now that's it with the butterfly, so that can go to one side. The next thing we're going to do, I have just got the dots out of Awesomely Artistic. If you don't have that stamp set, you can use Gorgeous Grunge. And we're just going to put some dots around our piece of soft sky. I'm just then going to give that stamp a quick clean, because I also want to do some of those little dots in crumb cake as well. So just pulling in your crumb cake, and we'll just pop a few of those on there as well. Okay, once you've got your crumb cake out, I'm just going to show you the Awesomely Artistic, because I've also used this little stamp as well. So I'm just going to pop a couple of those on. So we'll just maybe 3 of them on your card. And then what we shall do, we're doing our sponging around the outside in soft suede. So grab your soft suede and you're just going to sponge all the way around the outside of your soft sky piece. And then we want to make it a little bit darker, so then just come on in onto the corners and just darken up those corners a little bit. Then you can grab your piece of DSP and you need to do the same with that. So just very quickly sponging around the outside. And I don't want, I've chosen the DSP with the wording on there, and I don't want that wording to be white because it's a vintagey card. So I'm just going to go over the top of that just to soften the whiteness. So I've got the soft suede, and yeah, just going over just so it's not so stark. While we've got that out, actually, we will also do the envelope. So I'm going to sponge around the outside of my envelope. And then again, I'm going to place it down, and I'm just going to do a few little darker sections. And that really gives it that aged look and looks gorgeous. Alright, once we have done that, we can actually start to assemble some of our cards. So with your card base and your crumb cake piece, that one can actually be placed down. So just using a little bit of the Tombow glue, pop that down onto your card base. Then the next piece you would want to put down is your DSP piece. And that just goes on the right hand side, just leaving a small little gap. Now with your soft sky, we just need to stamp on the gorgeous key. So we're going to do that in the early espresso. So we'll just pop some ink on there, and just on the right hand side we're just going to put one of those keys down. Isn't it gorgeous? Love it. Then once that is done, that is just going to go flat onto your card as well. So a little bit of Tombow onto there. And you can place that one down. So just line up the soft sky piece with the DSP at the bottom of your card and glue that one on there. We might actually pop the insert in as well, get that piece out of the way. Just place the insert inside your card. Now the next thing we're going to do is we need to get the door stamp, and with the early espresso we can ink that one up, stamp the door. I'm just going to pop the lid on my Tombow glue. I've got a thing about leaving the lid off. I always worry that it's going to dry out. Okay, once you've stamped your door, all you're going to do is cut that. So we basically just want the door itself. We don't want all the fancy little bits that are going around it on this particular card. So very quickly just cut out the door, and with the early espresso you're just going to sponge around the outside. A lot of sponging on this card, as there is on all of the vintagey looking cards. Alright, and then with the soft suede you can just come in and go over a couple of sections just to make them a little bit darker. Excuse my squeaky desk. And then with the Early Espresso Stampin' Up marker, with the thicker side, all I have done is in some of the areas, and there's no right or wrong, wherever you feel that you can just age it a little bit more, just very roughly come in with some of that. Okay, we're just going to pop that to one side, and this is the new burlap out of the new catalogue. Again, the measurements will be up on the screen, and what you're going to do is just be a little bit rough on the edges, because I just want to fray that a little bit, just again to make it look aged. So yeah, don't worry about being too rough, just doesn't matter how much you fray it, it's going to look great with the card. And then using some glue dots, if you just place a couple of those glue dots, maybe 3 of them, so one on each end and then another one in the middle, and then you can pop that down onto the card. Then once that's on, you can attach the door. So just with some foam mounting squares, I'm just going to pop some of those onto the back so that the door is raised. Just peel off the backing off all of those, and then you can pop down your door. Rightio, once that's done, you're going to need another piece of crumb cake, and I have got the middle-sized butterfly out of the butterfly thinlets. Place him down onto your crumb cake. I've also got the precision plate on there, acrylic block over the top. Run that through your Big Shot and you will get your beautiful butterfly. With that butterfly, again, we're going to sponge around that one. So with the soft suede, you're just going to sponge around the outside of the butterfly, and then just come in and darken up certain areas of that as well. And we've got our gorgeous butterfly. For the smaller butterfly that lives on top of that one, just grab a piece of soft sky, and I'm just using my paper crimper. If you don't have one of these, you can just run a little bit of the soft sky through the Big Shot in an embossing folder and emboss it. Get through the paper crimper, and you can just punch out with your butterfly punch a smaller butterfly. And again, we're going to sponge around that one as well. There we go. And then bring back in your card with your bone folder. If you just want to curl up the wings of the butterfly using some Tombow glue, just pop some on the back, and you can glue down your butterfly. Do the same with the smaller one. Curl up the wings a little bit of Tombow, and then that one can go down. And then I have used the Very Vintage buttons. Unfortunately they're not available, so sad because they're just beautiful. I've just threaded through some linen thread, tied that in a knot, and using a couple of glue dots didn't want to come off there, and then you can place your button down into the middle, and then again with your bone folder, just with the tails of the linen thread, you can just curl those. So just run along with your bone folder and curl them up a bit. Isn't that looking gorgeous? So all we need to do now, we need to pop on our sentiment. So just grab that one out of the set. I'm going to ink that up in Pearly Espresso. Stamp that one down. Now with this one you've got a little bit of cutting to do. We're just going to cut the words up to separate them so we can put them on individually. So all you're going to do, just cut around it, and then you just need to cut in between every piece. So you'll cut that piece off, just keep going down to separate all of them, and then I'll just bring the card in to show you. I have kept some of the words together, so I've got your separate, then the kind of is together, person separate, who makes a altogether, positive and difference, they're separated, and in this world they're all together as well. So just cut them out, and once you've done that you can then just pop them down and go over them with your soft suede. Again, you just want to age them a little bit. I did do those a little bit earlier just to save a little bit of time. Now then all you need to do, we might just lay them out first so you know where you're going to put them. So you're the kind of person who makes a positive difference in this world. Just beautiful words, I love them. Okay, so as you can see, who makes a and in this world, I'm going to actually glue them onto the door. So on the right hand side of them, we're just going to grab those two pieces now, and with a very small foam mount, I'm actually going to cut one of them in half. So I only actually need one, and that'll do both of them because they only need to be very tiny. So just cut a tiny bit and pop that onto the end. Then I might pop this one on now. So peel off the back so that you've got that on the right hand side, and then you can pop down a little bit of Tombow glue on the left hand side so that when that then goes onto your door, because the door is raised, it's not going to sag down on that side because you've got the foam mount underneath it. Hopefully that made sense to you all. So again, same with the bottom one. And that one can go on. Okay, so that's only with those two that are actually glued onto the door. Then you can go ahead and all you're going to do is put a little bit of Tombow onto the back. Be very careful that you don't put too much on there because you don't want it to ooze out. So once you've done that, looking lovely, all I need to finish that off is a little bit of bling. And what I have chosen to use are some little pearls, and I'm just going to scatter those around on the card. I'm probably just going to use the 3 of them, place one down there. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. Now if you like, with your butterfly on the inside and the butterfly on your envelope, I just pulled in my Soft Sky marker and I've just coloured in a little tiny bit on the butterfly just to tie it in with the front of the card. I've just done the outside. Don't have to be too fussy. Just brings the blue to the inside of the card as well. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I hope you enjoy making it as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.